I was the funny kid growing up that would get people in trouble. Absolutely. I started when I was 16. I got invited to a bowling alley. There was a show. They were doing a show at a bowling alley, and I just dropped in. I was supposed to do 5 minutes, and I went up first, and I ended up doing like 20. It's one of my first venues I ever performed at. I was like 17 years old, and I was opening up for Alex Thomas here. But it's very fun to when you're playing big venues like this to say one joke and make this person laugh by the orchestra pit and that person way up there in the balcony. My biggest comedy inspiration is Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor came in at a time in the late 60s when black comedy was going through its revolution and trying to find its own light. Bill Cosby was doing a lot of comedy before Richard Pryor, but he was doing it catered to a white audience, which got him paid, which a lot of comics had to do at that time. Richard was the first guy that says, you know what, I know I'm gonna do it my way and how I hear it, and then make white people laugh. And that's something that I've always tried to write universally for everyone. It's all coming from me, and you're gonna get Kenny Thomas' perspective, not necessarily a black perspective or a young guy perspective, no, it's gonna be Kenny Thomas, how he feels about something. He just so happens to be a black guy. It's unlike any other art form. Musicians, they can play the same songs in 50 different cities every day. Usually with comedy, when you hear a joke and you've heard it a couple times, it loses its element of surprise. So things become less funny as the more you hear it. So with comedy, you have to do more. You can't just be a stand-up comic no more. You got to be a good actor. You got to write well. You got to be a good performer. And that's something I'm intentionally working on. I was a theater kind of guy in high school. I was in a lot of theater programs and that type of thing, and that's when I kind of fell in love with it. But I didn't pursue anything from there. I went the route of getting a job and trying to go to school, and I got into the financial sector, and that all fell apart. Gone. So, and now I only have these jokes to kind of fall back on. So that's why this project is pretty special to me. And that's why it's intentionally called The Greater Fool. We're just trying to be heard, trying to make people laugh.